Hey folks, Paul here with Thunderpunk Radio and Drake and Train Division. I'm here with one of my favorite companies. This is one of my favorite companies because, first off, innovation, and then second, this is going to be cheesy, but the people that work there that have awesome personalities and are very enthusiastic about what they work on.
Does not apply to internet, only in person.
So first off, we're going to talk about products that shouldn't exist. And it's interesting being a company because you're making something that you believe shouldn't exist and hope that you don't have to make it anymore, right? So you put all this R&D, all this research, time and money into developing something that you don't want to have exist.
Yeah, we're in Georgia. We would prefer not to have to make these at all, whether it's for the magazine, locking it in, or loading in some other alternative way, which we'll show in a minute. Yeah, if it were up to us, we'd rather not have to make it at all. But for now, we can help out folks in California, New York, and other states where they need help in this area.
So, the right to bear arms is a human right. Our U.S. Constitution acknowledges that it protects an already existing human right that you're born with. Unfortunately, not everybody realizes that, and if enough people don't realize that, they can enforce unconstitutional and immoral laws. And there are certain states that do that. So this company's come up with some products to help you still have a fully functioning rifle that operates as efficiently and quickly as you can operate it to basically comply with these rules. Now it's a debate, right? Like what level of like non-compliance versus okay, let's work around this. And I think we need both. I really do. And I think that's very noble of you guys to come up with something that eventually all that research it wouldn't be for moot, because if you can continue to prove and if you can continue to provide tools for people to defend themselves, I think it's worth it. So, all right, so let's talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
What do we got first?
Okay, so if you're in California, if you want to keep a pistol grip and some other features in your firearm, you may need to lock your magazine into it. That's what this does. This is MA lock. It's a shear bolt. You insert it, you replace the button with this, and you turn the head until it shears off, and it's in, it's out. It's not going to come out unless you use tools to take it out. Once your magazine is locked into the gun, how are you going to load it? I think legislatively they thought you're going to have to pull your takedown pin and take the gun apart to actually load it. We said, you know what, there's probably a faster, easier, and more efficient way to do that. So we made the MA loader, which holds up to 10 rounds. This is the retail package for it. We make an AR-15 version and an AR-10 version. So I'll demonstrate the AR-15 version now. Stick it in your ejection port. We'll pretend the magazine is locked in and I can't get it out. Put your thumb in the loader here. Boom. And I just put 10 rounds in the gun. I released the bolt and stripped the first one off and put it in the chamber. So 9 in the mag. And there was the one that was in the chamber.
So I run a carbine course right now. Draken's just doing carbine level 1. We got a recon course coming up, and we're going to be doing carbine level 2 soon. This is something that you can run and be efficient with. You can run an SKS. You can totally run an SKS with stripper clips. This is going to be very similar to that. It's going to be quick. You just keep these in your mag pouch, right? Because it fits your standard 30-round mag pouch.
Which similar in size to a 30-round PMAG.
Which, by the way, this is a standard capacity magazine. So I have a lot of people coming over from Gameology, and thank you so much for checking us out. A lot of people that are new to firearms, a lot of people call these high-capacity magazines. They're standard capacity magazines. It's just the right size, round count, and everything. I have some people like, well, you don't need that much for hunting. Well, you can load 5 rounds into a 30-round mag.
Correct.
Why spend extra money, So a lot of the restrictions for a lot of these states are 10 rounds. This fits into a 30-round mag pouch, so you can get your chest rig or your plate carrier or your belt rig. I run S-Tac pouches. You just pull it out, stick it on, run it. You're going to be a little bit slower than just running a normal mag, but you're going to be pretty quick and pretty efficient, especially if you work on it. So what are all the components?
There's no springs in here also.
Oh, okay.
I should mention, you can store ammo in this loader. No spring.
Definitely.
So yeah, there's no limit to how long you want to leave it in there. You don't have to worry about spring fatigue or failing.
That's awesome.
So that's another advantage.
So this might be something that security companies in places like California and New York can look into as well.
Okay. Another application is for long-range shooters, especially the AR-10 version of this. If you're on a bench and you have your rifle scoped in and you don't want to pick it up and lose all the time you spent getting sighted into a certain spot, reach around with the loader, load it in, and you're stayed on target the whole time.
It's always great. So Silly Putty, this is like Silly Putty, and I'll explain. You guys are going to think I'm crazy, and I probably am. It's neat coming up with I designed this for this, but we can also use it for this. So
right.
Those long distance shooters.
That was not our initial intention, but we had customers come to us and tell us that. So now we have that as an extra advantage of the product that we didn't necessarily intend.
So the reason I mentioned silly putty is that was like a rubber compound they were trying to design for World War II. They ended up like, well, we can't use this, but it makes a great toy.
Kids like it.
Yeah, right. But
So one other thing that I should mention that's on this firearm in the video,
right, all the
is
components.
our feed lips, or feed ramp we call it. This is an optional part. It's kind of like a flared mag well. If you want it, it can speed it up, make it a little bit easier to put it in.
Oh, so it's not necessary to have that to make it work.
Correct. The loader will work with a standard normal ejection port. We just take the door off and mount this where the door mounts. It looks kind of cool, but mainly it's again, it's optional.
Gotcha. So what's the MSRP for this system right here?
So for the loader, we sell these on our website, single pack for $29.99, $30. We also sell the 3-pack, which is behind me, for $79.99. So you get a $10 discount if you buy 3 of them.
So that's like about the price of like a high quality magazine. Now, you know, a standard Magpul mag is going to be a little cheaper, but you got all these moving components. It's a small business, a lot of R&D, and I think that seems like a reasonable price. I'd say so right here. But like, oh, that seems expensive because I don't have a filter. That seems reasonable to me considering all the research you put into it and also the size of your company. You know what I mean? You're not a huge corporate conglomerate.
Correct.
That sounds awesome. And what about the Magwell feed thing, so to speak? How much is this going to run you?
The feed ramp is about $11, give or take.
Super reasonable.
Okay. And then we have one more product for California, and this is kind of a preview of maybe another video you're going to do.
Okay.
But one thing that people know us for is the Endomag.
I have a couple of these.
The Endomag will convert your Magpul P-Mag to a 9mm magazine. We do sell a version for California and New York that is limited to 10 rounds. We seal up the base plate and we ship you the entire magazine. We call it the restricted state version, but that's also on our website as an option for folks in those states that can only have 10 rounds.
So I think there's a huge debate right now on, like I said, non-compliance and then workarounds. And I think we need both. I really do. And I respect any company because something a lot of people don't consider is the amount of time. And I know I'm getting redundant, but I really want to make this point. The amount of time and money and research that you put into this product that you're hoping you don't have to make it. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Let us know what you think, folks.